Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to talk about the neutral density filters that you can apply over lenses, in this specific case a GoPro. So here you can see my Hero 9 at the identical settings. I captured these twice, and on the left you see no ND filter, and on the right you see an ND filter 16 applied to the lens. What the filter is doing is just neutralizing the excess of lights, especially in the highlights, and it's just giving us a more balanced image in general. Now, this is given the same exact settings because the GoPro was forced not to change anything. The ISO, shutter speed mostly, they can't change, so the GoPro cannot let less light in, and that's why it's blowing up so much. This is a nice setting. If we keep this shutter speed at a 180 rule, so it's twice as much the frame rate, everything is staying there. The ND 16 worked for this day. What I'm thinking is that the GoPro would not be able to go higher. It would just need to go, on a higher ISO. So I've taken the filter off and I tried a shutter speed of 480s. So I said, okay, well, without a filter, how would these work? And it's better. Definitely it's better. You can see that we're on the white, bright side of things, but it's getting there. If the GoPro needed something to be a little bit more into a dark situation, it would just slow the shutter speed down, or otherwise it would just speed it up. So I took the strongest setting, the fastest shutter speed I had at 1960 of a second, and this is pretty much what I had on the ND filter 16. Still, again, this is without the ND, and it's looking fine. And I said, well, in such a bright day, with a GoPro forced to an ISO of 100, it cannot go lower than that. There would be no way to get something less bright, right? So for this reason, it's already a good indication that I might want to put an ND8 all the time, just to lessen the fact that it was such a dramatic, extreme shutter speed setting, right? Now, we're going to compare the 960th shutter speed with the 120th with the filter. And they're close. If you look closely enough to the far side of the frame, you'll see that there's actually some sort of casting of the light that the ND filter doesn't have. Looks much crisper, much more balanced, much more ready for also color grading, which I haven't done yet. So I've graded them and they look real nice. I got them real close, and you can tell that you don't need a filter to get necessarily better color, but it will just give you some sort of ease of life for sure, because you notice in the distance there's no casting any longer. Not that I dislike that blue kind of filter light, it's kind of a style, but it's a much more balanced image. And now the problem is that if you keep an ND filter 16, which is something I wouldn't do, your shutter speed in a bright situation like this one will stay at 120th, and that's the lowest threshold we have, twice as much the FPS. So the GoPro can only go higher in ISO in low light situations. This is not optimal. I would probably put a ND filter 8, which I think is going to be the best all-rounder, just so that the shutter speed stays at, let's say, 1/480th of a second, and this will give me leeway on moving lower or higher in shutter speed to get more or less light without touching the ISO, which is the noisy, problematic part. If you've watched until this point of the video, thank you. I've recently lost one of my closest friends to depression and decided to start this channel to raise awareness of it. Life can be tough, but it's still full of amazing things, and family, friends, and a strong community can get you through everything. I want this channel to be a reminder of the good things we all have. If you like this content and want to support me, please take a look at my Patreon. Thank you, and until next time, this is Rizzo signing off.